I think I want to make it clear today that, honestly speaking, if you attack me, I might let you get away. But I learned from Candace Owens. She said one thing. She said that for your children, be a Karen. Do you know that my son one day told me, she said, Mommy, do you know that the teachers are terrified of you? I said, terrified of me? Why? Because they said every time when there is a conversation about something, they say, oh, no, we need to ask King David Mother. Or like, no, don't do that. King David Mother will call us. King David Mother will come here. That to me was actually good, because you cannot bully my child, because they know. They say Jamaican mothers are like that. Maybe I'm half Jamaican, because Jamaican mothers fight for their children. You cannot mess with a Jamaican child. So that's why I am responding to this, because some people might wonder, that's not like you, but it's true. I'm somebody who don't care. But when you touch my child, when you touch something that has to do with my child, I will rip you in pieces. I'll rip you apart, because I'm not afraid for you to rip me. Maybe I'm already ripped apart. That's what I keep on saying. Don't come for somebody who don't give a damn, okay? Because now I'm ripping you apart. Hi guys, and welcome back to Single, Married, Separated, Divorced, and Single Again. And for me, Jehovah, I believe in marriage, but not only that, I believe in giving men a second chance. I'm not the type of woman who go like, man, all men are dogs, and all those kind of narratives that you hear from the feminist movement, obviously. And I always say that sometimes women will tell you that, oh no, I don't need a man, blah, blah, blah. But then you see them with a man. So do you need a man only to sleep with? So you don't want a real relationship that can lead to marriage? And that's why you're saying you don't need a man? I personally, I've always said that I might not need a man for anything, like financially and so on. And of course I will appreciate it if he can provide and all those things. But I do want a man. And that will take me to why I came back with the part 2 of putting those trolls, those people that knows you, to shame. Because today I'm going to talk about some of the comments that I didn't kind of looked at, that I obviously thought, let me just ignore that. But then I felt like, why not? Why should I not be able to talk about that? But you know, I always start with a lighter kind of note. So today I am excited because guess what? Tomorrow your girl is leaving to Cameroon to join my husband, my Cameroonian king. So I'm leaving tomorrow, I'm flying tomorrow, I'm permanently moving there. And I think I need to address that too, because, oh my God, there's so many comments. So I don't know whether I should address that, or maybe I can address that comment, because that has to do, maybe I can just kind of share a little bit about it. Because one of the comments was that I sent my son to Namibia because I'm moving to Cameroon. And I'm like, you know what? I think people look for stories. And I thank God for the people who actually knows me, who knows my life, who knows what's going on in my life. Because guess what? I never even thought of moving to Cameroon. We were gonna do this distance and see how it's gonna take us. But guess what? My older son decided, who have been wanting to go home, decided that, Mommy, I want to go home for at least a year or some months. So what can we do? And in that thinking, I'm like, okay, if my son is going home, I only have my 14-year-old, then I can as well take my 14-year-old to Cameroon, because they have like the same system as Canada, starting school in September, you know, closing in June for summer holidays, and you know, and they speak French. So my son was gonna get to learn to speak French. And I called his father and I sat him down and I said, this is what I think I'm gonna do. And then he said, oh no, you know what, go and enjoy your husband. Very good, cute. Go and enjoy your husband. you've taken care of our son for a long time because I wasn't present. So now is my time. I'm going to help you with him. I want him to stay because he obviously not going to be able to do basketball, in Cameroon. So what do you think? And that's how I came to say, okay, then I am moving permanently, okay? It doesn't mean that I'm not going to visit Canada. So there go the thing. There is another explanation to that. But that's not the lighter note, isn't it? So the lighter note of that is that, oh my God, when a woman is in love and loves the right way, it's such a blessing. Today I was actually praying with my husband because remember he's in Cameroon, I'm in Canada, so we always make sure that we pray together twice daily. So we are doing our morning prayers, and I think it's based on Ephesians 6:22-30. I think for those who read the Bible, I don't know, it's obviously the instruction that God gave the husband towards the woman and the woman towards the husband. Husband love your wife, and wife submit to your husband and all that. Now the thing is, before we start praying, my husband usually start with a prayer, kind of an opening prayer. And the reason I'm sharing this is just like I'm trying to say that there's things that a man say that just makes you so happy. So he's like, Lord, I thank you for my beautiful, wonderful wife. Thank you so much that you have given me a caring wife. Oh my God, who doesn't want to hear that? I'm like, oh my God, like this is so amazing. It's honestly speaking, it's a blessing to have a man who admires you. Now, to be quite honest, I think I have to say that I am fortunate with men because even in my previous marriage, which obviously led into a divorce because of, I'm going to also explain that here because the troll obviously put the things upside down in her own way that fits her own narrative. So I'm going to kind of correct that too. But it's just that I think we love differently and people love differently. I remember that there's an opera, something where she said she loved her mom, but she felt her mom didn't love her back. And I think, I don't know what his name, the guy who's usually talks on, how can I, forgot his name. Anyway, but what he said was very powerful. He said that maybe she loved you at her best, even though her best was not good enough because you love passionate. Because we need to know that we love differently. I am a passionate lover. I'm a passionate lover. So my 100% and somebody else's 100% might not be the same, but it might be their best love. So that's why I don't really want to put people down, because obviously maybe they loved you this way and so on, because that's their best, right? So I'm so fortunate and just really, really to be able to love this passionately, but to be loved twice the way you love. I always say, and I preach in my other videos, that a man ought to love his wife more than the wife loves him. A relationship between a husband where the husband loves the wife more than the wife loves him is the best, honestly speaking. Now, the thing is with us, we love passionately in general. Like women are, nurturing beings, so love comes naturally to us. But then the Bible commands us to submit and not really to love, because we are we love naturally. So today I'm going to explain some things that some people wonder, what did she mean by that? So for example, when the troll came to my page and talk about my ex-husband, because he's Nigerian, maybe he got married to me because of papers, I explained that we were in a country where we didn't need papers at that moment, but also additionally he wouldn't have known in advance to actually need that. What I meant by that was that there was no plans of me or him coming to Canada to begin with. So, he would have not be able to actually got married to me because he wants to come to Canada, because there was no idea between me and him of coming to Canada. We were just, going to live our life, and be able to make whatever out of it where we were. So the Canadian coming came later on. And besides, we actually both came to Canada by the way. So there was nothing for him to need my papers because he also came to Canada to begin with. So don't have that thing in you that it's only Namibians that can come to Canada. Any other person could also come to Canada. So he did came to Canada by the way. That's enough of an explanation. But now, based on that, I'm actually, I think I explained something previously that personally, you actually had someone who you brought to the United States because they actually wanted papers from you, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. There were actually not even one case. I think it's 2 or 3 different cases. So you were actually desperate for men bringing these men that are desperate for papers. So, you know, we kill that point. Now, I'm going to attack your other point. You actually said something which is quite weird for you to say. You said that I am obsessed with men. So I'm like, I don't know whether it was a mistake, and if it's a mistake, that's okay. I think you wanted to say men are obsessed with me. Is that what you wanted to say? I'm not quite sure. By the way, let me show you how obsessed men are with me. Because remember, I'm in my 3rd marriage, and to me, a glass is always half full and half empty. So being in my 3rd marriage, it's not like I went into a marriage to divorce, but it's actually a compliment. Let me tell you why. Men usually don't want to settle down. So if you have one man, a second one, now a 3rd one wanting to settle down with you, guess what that means? I am wife material. But wife material could be at the beginning. So this is what I'm trying to say, because you also got your own, you know, marriage and so on. But how long did your marriages last? My first marriage lasted for 10 years, because remember I got married when I was younger, and my second marriage lasted for 15 years. You can do the calculation, because I also found that you are interested in how old I am. Oh my God, you are so interested in everything about me. So I'm flaunting the men that actually made it for my first marriage, kind of, you know, the last 3, because it means that I had more than that were running for my life, like Usain Bolt. But I had to choose from the 3 that I selected. Can you see how handsome those men are? But it's not only about being handsome. They were the most amazing guys, to be quite honest, all 3 of them. But I obviously had to choose one, because you know what? I can only be faithful to one man. I'm a one-man woman, unlike you. And by the way, the reason you can hold your man, it's not only about not only having a good heart, because I know your heart is darkened, but you know what? You need to follow me on my fitness channel so that you can exercise and tighten it up, because maybe it's loosed. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. Come on, men love a woman who's tight. So maybe you are not that tight, okay? So stop being jealous of me, because like I say, I promise that I will rip you apart, okay? I just did. But regardless, if we take me out of that, you are actually the one who's obsessed with men. First of all, like I said, you are probably 10 years older than me, and you have been dating, or I shouldn't even say dating. You have been sleeping with young men, like very, very, way younger than you. You have been a baby mama to most of the people that you have been dating, to be quite honest. They have been way younger than you. And they probably, as my previous comment, they have been just with you for papers, because you are known as, I don't know whether you know this, but most people who know you as a psychopath. Like, you are a psychopath. The actions that you do when you have men, because men are desperate, you know, for papers. So you kept them like a doggy wally, like, you know, like, let me not go into details with that. I'll leave it at that. But probably one of the things that I can actually attack is that, guys, as I usually say, when you live in a glass house, please don't throw the first stone. As I said, your glass house would crumble, but the person that you throw the stones to might live in a brick house, and that can crumble. That's a thing, that's a problem. And with that, I want to say that you actually assume that all Nigerians marry people for papers and so on. And yes, I have to agree with you that to a certain level, a lot, not only Nigerians, obviously, Western Africans, and I mean, people who kind of use Namibian passport has been a lot, like Zimbabweans and, like Nigerians, Ghanaian, all sort of, different countries, right? So when it comes to that, I know that, there is certain, and probably Nigerians more, that use women for papers. That's true, but don't generalize it. And this is the thing, when you point a finger to a certain, race, think about your own race. For example, is it good to say that most Namibian men, let me not even say Namibian men, is it good to say like our tribe is of a Herero? Is it good to say that of a Herero men, most of them, they live in monogamous relationship? Is it good to say that? Obviously, like I said, it's a culture, but most of them are into monogamous relationship, right? But would I then generalize that every single Herero man is like that? Of course not. Most Herero men are actually, especially the younger one, now they're beginning to see that even though it's a culture, it was not good. So it's not good to generalize, because you might judge Nigerians on their own thing, but then you have your own tribe that is not that perfect either, honestly speaking. So let's not do that, okay? Because when you start doing that, you are actually pointing the four fingers to yourself and to your own tribe. And honestly speaking, if your own tribe has been doing so well, why have you not been steadfast on one man? You have been going from one man to another. And to be quite honest, I cannot even count the many men that you slept with. So for you to come and say, I'm obsessed with men, most people who's listening to this video know me. Most people who knows me know that you cannot come with such an attempt and get away with it, because I'm not obsessed with men. Maybe men are obsessed with me. And I can tell you that I am always fortunate I get all the good men. Yes, obviously, I had previously been in a relationship where this man makes this mistake and this man this mistake. And I'm not saying they are perfect, but I get all good men. Like my ex, my second husband, that's why I'm like, stop saying things about people that you don't know about. Leave that man, because you are one of the people who I know that when I was divorcing, who were telling people that maybe he pregnanted a woman, maybe she's lying when she says she's divorcing him for music. Now you did find out that no woman has come out that is pregnant for him, and you now realize it's probably the truth, and now you know what? The thing with you is that even during my time when I was almost deported, like, can you see, I'm not apologetic or even ashamed that I was almost deported. I don't hide things. My life is open. I always tell people, and I do that to encourage people, that I was almost deported 4 times. My ticket was paid almost 4 times. And you were one of the people, I heard about it. You were one of the people who were so happy that I was going to be deported. I surprised every single person. The first time when I traveled to Namibia, most people were under the impression that I was deported. And I let it. I allowed them to believe that. Most people who didn't wanted me to come back were shocked when I came back. Their responses on being surprised when I came back show what type of heart they had towards me. Every single person who saw me when I was back and I was like happy, I knew the intention. And every person who asked me, oh, are you back? How did you come back? Why was I not supposed to come back? Because you thought I was deported? So you were one of the people who actually wanted me to be deported. So a lot of things are coming out, to be quite honest. Now, let me go to the part where you want to generalize Nigerians and want to put them down. Because your own daughter has actually been from one man to another, and most of them were Nigerians. And you say that, oh no, Nigerians, but your own daughter has been sleeping with Nigerians. Even if she was not sleeping with Nigerians, she did sleep with a lot of Western African men. So what about that? Is it only when it's good for you and for other people it's not good? Or did one of them actually maybe used her for papers and you were talking about your own experience? Is that it? Anyway, let me move on. Now, there is something else that maybe you thought I didn't know. And I'm going to put it plain. Because you have been one of the people who have been judging me. Okay, sorry guys, I was distracted a little bit. And I don't want this video to be long, but I feel like it's gonna be long. You know, your girl and talking, right? Anyway, today I have to actually record 4 different videos for my 4 different channels. So yeah, anyway, so I was saying you were one of the people who were like so into me and, you know, like my ex-husband and my, you know, like my sister and all that, but you forgot that I actually knows about your brother was married to someone, his wife had a daughter, the firstborn, who was actually in a monogamous relationship with her little sister. Meaning that your brother's wife, first daughter, who was married, the husband was in a monogamous relationship with your brother's daughter, the little one, obviously, because the firstborn was not his child, but the lastborn, or like, I don't know whether the secondborn or whatever, but these are 2 children from the same mother who were in a relationship with one man. But you didn't talk about that. You were not into that. But you yourself, because the thing is, because I was so much younger than you think I don't know your things. It's because I respect you. That's why I didn't bring it to any platform or whatever. Because why am I concerned about your stories? I'm not concerned about your stories. I'm running my own race. I'm like running my own race of like raising my children. You know, it's funny that a woman will be happy for a mother to be deported, well knowing that that mother is going through raising a child who has a lot of health issues. But you were so happy for me to be deported. That's why I'm saying that when you touch, when someone, that's why I'm always saying that, you know, I am a very good person. When you touch me, I don't even care. But when you come for my children, when you come for things that has to do with my children, I will rip you apart. I am that kind of lioness that will fight the lion that wants to take over to kill the cubs. Because I don't know whether it's the story, whether you know about the story of like when a lion is taking over a kingdom, they actually kill the cubs because they're afraid the cubs are going to kill them when they big and so on. So they kill the cubs. So some lioness actually take the risk of fighting that big lion. I am that kind of lioness. When you come for my children or anything that will affect my children, because now you come and, you know, like publish information that you don't know whether other people know, but I don't want maybe my young child who's 14 to know now. Maybe I was supposed to give it out later. Other people know, my friends know, and most people. But you came here thinking that, oh, what? So that's why I'm saying I'm going to rip you apart. And one of the things that I know is that you will come and maybe say that, oh no, you will come with a fake profile, obviously. I'm waiting for you. Because right now you disappear. That's why I know it's you, 110%. But if you come with a fake profile, at least I will say, okay, she's pretending not to be here. Maybe you will come with a fake profile and say that, oh no, you know what? That person that you think I am, it's not me. You are actually attacking an innocent person. I know that you will come with that. Or maybe you will come with, you know, another thing, acting like whatever. But you know what? I know it's you. I'm 110% sure that it's you. I'm talking to you. Like these clips are for you. So for you to come here and actually want a mother whose child is sick, and you want that mother to be deported, that's how it shows that you are not only dark, you are a psychopath. Like you are psychopathic, honestly speaking, like literally. And the fact that you are creating fake profile, continue creating profile. Why are you quiet? Why are you quiet? Where are you running? Kazongo.
Kasongo mbona wewe songa libala. Oh yeah.
Because me, if you don't know me, I can rip you apart. Because you have nothing to rip me apart with. Because everything is in the open. So what are you going to use? So like I said, you yourself, you were actually in a relationship where you and your sister were also sharing a man. I'm not quite sure actually whether it's your sister or it was your cousin, but you know exactly whom I'm talking about, because the man that you guys were involved with is actually the man that took you to the United States eventually. And you were always thinking that, oh, I'm beautiful, I'm more beautiful than her and all those things. But let me tell you something. Yes, your face is beautiful. But let me tell you something. Beauty doesn't only end with your face. Look at your body. That's why you're hiding your body under extraordinary long skirts and dresses. Because your legs is nothing to look at. To be quite honest. Let me be honest. Nothing to look at. And honestly speaking, even with that kind of face, when your heart is so dark, your heart is very dark. For you to do what you did, your heart must be very darkened. Because I'm just feeling like just to go and look for an email address and look for a name, put it with another last name, create that fake profile, and then go and do the same thing. You know, it's almost like 4 fake profile that you created. I mean, just for you to actually sit down and do that, show how darkened your spirit is. Like I said, please travel. Travel around, not this thing where you travel every 3 years. You have been in the United States for so many years. Didn't you save money to travel? Of course, you have not invested in anything. So don't give us a bluff. We know of each other. Everybody knows each other. So don't give us the bluff. You have not invested in anything. And you know what? You think maybe because you are Kowe Benje in the United States, abroad, maybe you think because your family maybe admire you. We don't admire you. Most people, before I could even say anything, they actually knew it was you. So it means that most people are actually not surprised. They know, they say that's how they know you. And this is what they say, honestly speaking, because you are actually regarded as a psychopath, to be quite honest. And honestly speaking, I did respect you to a certain level, but you have stooped so low that my respect has fallen. And you know, you probably don't care about me respecting you, because I don't even care about you respecting me. And I don't even care about maybe your family telling you that, oh no, don't worry, like she's nothing. I'm nothing, but you go and open 5 fake profiles to attack me. It means I am something. And don't worry, give it 5 years, then you will know that I am something. Then you would know that God does not call the qualified. He qualified the called. You would know that there is a God, and that God, when he calls someone, you cannot uncall him. Because maybe you don't believe in God, and that's why you are doing all these things. By the way, I have so much more information, but I will end here.